Genshin Impact is an incredibly popular game, and while official figures still aren't available, it's likely to have more than 50 million players, with millions playing it each day. Needless to say, it's definitely had an impact on gaming as a whole. Despite its large size, Genshin has a far smaller speedrunning community compared to games similar in popularity, such as Minecraft or Skyrim. While I could go in depth as to why that's the case, I'll just say that online gaming and speedrunning don't mix. Mostly. For those who don't know or didn't care enough about them, there are a handful of dandies races sprinkled throughout Tevat, and among them, Wangshu Inn stands out. For only 100 seconds, players must climb a mountain to reach the inn located at its peak. Even with such a challenge, several players would rise up to face it, and over the course of a year, the run would become more and more refined, with each record being smoother and smarter. So sit back and relax, because we'll be going over this development and the world record progression of Genshin Impact's Wangshu Inn. Genshin Impact was first added to speedrun.com on October 3rd, and 2 days later, the very first run for Wangshu Inn would be a 47.69 submitted by Sinoli. Considering that this was just a week after the game's release, the run was greatly unoptimized, including the use of Amber, a less than stellar character speed-wise. On the bright side, having an improvable record meant that there was a larger incentive for someone to play the category, and that next day, Logerator would improve massively on their own with a 38.79, cutting nearly 9 seconds off the record. This was mainly because he switched to Kaye, a much faster character, as well as utilizing much cleaner gameplay and movement, cutting corners where possible. As it turned out, improving the run would need Logerator to take it in another direction, literally. And just a day later, yet again, Logerator would record a 31.8, going across the left side of the mountain and cutting under the inn's flooring to save 7 seconds, noting that sub 30 was probably attainable. Just 3 days later, he'd smashed that barrier with a 27.49, thanks mainly to his increased stamina. Still, the run had a long way to go, considering that he had yet to reach max stamina, as well as not having built the bridge at this section, and as such, that would be the last record he'd hold. Because 3 days later, Shin Runner First, or Shin, would achieve a 24.8, having gotten a higher level of stamina, as well as building the bridge mentioned earlier. He had been building up to this run with 2 25-second runs earlier, but still, he expected the run to be beaten by Loganator, but it just wasn't. While there was some discussion about the use of the old shooting star glitch, it didn't really get anywhere. So, time passed, and Shin's run stood its ground, in a period marked by stagnation across all of Genshin speedrunning, not just in Wangshu Inn. Well, that was until the new year, when Shin would finally beat his time, with a tantalizing 24.09. There was a noticeable lack of lag this time, and it seemed much more refined in movement. Not to leave the run so close to another second barrier, Shin would go back to grinding, and after getting screwed over by RNG, he'd get a 23.72, with some familiar music to boot. By this point, you might have noticed in-game times not lining up with the times I mentioned, and the reason for that is due to the moderation team giving extra time to runs to fit RTA timing, and Shin's 23.72 would be given the most time of any record to date, with an extra 120 milliseconds being added. Once again, having achieved the first sub 24 in the category, Shin wouldn't pursue a faster time, and more than 3 months passed without a change in the world record. That was until Alexis came along. A powerhouse in the dandy race categories, Alexis would achieve a record sweep across all 4 categories, including achieving a 22.95, the first sub 23 run. The only way to beat a sweep, however, is to sweep back, and 1 week later Shin would achieve a 22.45, improving on what little there was to improve, and ending off with just barely enough stamina to get to the end. While he noted that the beginning was improvable, it seemed like that, alongside the other races, the record would finally settle at his final time. Well, almost anyways. As it turns out, Shin was scrolling through YouTube and found a glitch allowing players to rapidly move around if they were to change their character. Using this, on September 6, he was able to shave off 0.04 seconds from his 22.41 run, the smallest difference between 2 runs to date. And with that, that completes the world record history of Wangshu Inn. For the most part, the run is definitely possible without any exploits, and Shin himself believes a sub 22 is possible. Whether it's him who gets it, or someone like you who gets it, we won't know for sure. Thanks for watching. Alright, a big thank you to Shin Runner First. He helped me a lot with editing, the script and making sure all my information was right. So without him, this video wouldn't be what it is now. To the community in general, because they were just really nice overall, and they were really receptive to all of everything I was doing, and to you for making it this far. And if you don't mind me asking, I'd ask you to like subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers soon. See you next time.